The rest of the year seemed like the biggest uphill battle that I've ever had to overcome. What is life? This is a question that's really been on my mind for the past couple months as I've been trying to figure out exactly where I want to go with my life. 2021 felt like the year that held every single one of us back 1 year, because it just didn't seem real. You see, 2021 kind of felt like you were part of the Truman Show. Every decision that you tried to make was already made for you, and anything that you tried to do on your own was either wrong or unsafe. But I've always been someone to focus on the positives. So this is the story of how 2021 is going to help me make 2022 my year. Part 1, reflecting on 2021. From January all the way up till the summer, I felt like every single week I was growing a little bit. If you look at the video that I first posted in January, where it was very similar to like how you can make 2021 your year, and then you look at the last video that I posted, although the two videos are very different, the person talking in front of the camera is the same. And when I look back at the January video and then looking at the August video, I realized that there was two different people. The first person that talked in front of the camera back in January was very stiff, scared, timid. And as you start to see my month-to-month progress, you'll realize that I started to become more comfortable in front of the camera. And the biggest thing that I realized was the editing in my videos became way better than it was at the beginning. And the more that I put in the work, the more that I truly believed that I could make this dream a reality. But like I mentioned, 2021 was a big uphill battle. You see, my big goals for the year was to be able to move out, and I was able to accomplish that. I'm extremely grateful for this goal that I was able to accomplish. But what I realized was the feeling of accomplishing the goal isn't as satisfying as the process that it takes in order for you to get to that goal. When we moved out, you kind of start to realize what living on your own is like, and there's a lot of responsibilities and a lot of maturing that I had to do. Mind you, I really got to be thankful for my parents because they really prepared me for a lot of the things that come with living on your own, and this process took a lot out of me. It took so much out of me that I realized I needed to take a break from YouTube because this was so time consuming and I wasn't necessarily seeing the results that I wanted. So all I was doing was actually disliking this whole process of doing YouTube videos. I realized that on YouTube I was putting a little bit of a persona where I was just so focused on being this polished professional version of myself that wasn't necessarily transparent to who I really was. And because of this, I kind of felt like I had a little bit of an identity crisis. I was pretending to be another version of myself that I wasn't actually being for myself. And that's why I mentioned at the beginning that from January onwards, it was a big battle. It was an uphill battle because I started to realize that I was fighting myself. So at this point, I realized that I needed to take a break and that I needed to start focusing on how to fix different areas in my life that I kind of just, disregarded. So one of the biggest things that I needed to focus on was how I was going to be able to pay rent, because I didn't have a job back then. It was mid-pandemic. Everything was just kind of flipped upside down. So I put myself out there and I said, I'm gonna become a server. Mind you, I consider myself a little bit of an introvert. Personally, when I'm in new environments, I just feel timid. I kind of get in a little bit of a shell and I'm a bit of an observer rather than someone that talks and, is open. So I felt like serving was that opportunity to really get out of my comfort zone. September all the way up until December, I really started to focus on myself. I became obsessed with working on creating good habits and really focusing on the things that nurtured my life, that helped me grow. Part 2, the life advice that changed my view on life. Our decisions create our future. This lesson right here blew me away because it's so simple yet so easy for us to forget. Anything that you did a year ago has shaped you in some way to the person that you have become now. And so when I took a look at this lesson, I realized that if I wanted to achieve greatness, one of the biggest things that I really focused on was creating a morning routine. And I'm not going to really go through my entire morning routine. I can make that a later video if you guys are interested. But focusing on just creating a morning routine helped me really build the rest of my day. Because if you start off your day with a really good routine, well, you're just kind of trained to focus on what comes next. And for me, it was all about creating a step-by-step process of how I could maximize my time during the morning in order for me to have the most amount of energy and motivation to complete my day the best way possible. So this translated into me having a better work ethic and feeling more motivated about myself and about my vision. Even though life kind of seemed very stale and nothing new was happening, I felt like I was finally getting some sort of direction to where I wanted to go. And that's why I really wanted to share this lesson with you guys, because it really does change your perception on where you might be right now. Just understand that every decision that you make creates your future. Part 3, how 2022 is going to be my year. Focusing on what I was going to really end off this video with, I just want to really share with you guys the dream that I have. It is my dream to create a positive impact around the world, or even just around me. TikTok was the reason that I realized that I don't need to do these big extravagant things in order to really impact people's lives. There are people out there that are literally hitting record in their car on their phone and just talking about their experience right now with life. So once I saw that someone could literally just hit record on their phone, talk for 30 seconds and impact people's lives, I realized that I was putting so much pressure into creating these big extravagant videos. All these different lessons that I shared with you in the past year and a half have been so focused on the lesson and the idea behind getting out of the situation that I forgot about the importance of that process at the beginning, that genuine connection to the message. It was kind of like I was a robot in front of the camera trying to be this professional ass human being that has everything figured out when I don't. I don't have things figured out. I'm just like you. I've realized that you get to a point in life where you just need to be okay with where you're at and continuously work to move forward. If you're okay with where you're at and you don't move forward at all, well, then that's the comfort zone. And it's okay to be stuck there. I was stuck there last year for quite some months, and I've been stuck in that position a lot of the time for most of my life. It's okay not to have things figured out. Like I mentioned in part 2, our decisions create our future. So as long as you're making the right decisions in your life in order to serve the future that you want, that's all you got to worry about. There isn't a specific reason as to how I know 2022 is going to be my year, but I'm going to be really focusing on the things that inspire me, the things that make me happy, and the things that are going to help me move forward with the vision that I have in order to create a positive impact around the world. The support has been really amazing for the little amount of subscribers that I have. Some of you guys have even reached out to me asking me how I am and when I plan on coming back, and it just really has motivated me to come back and to start doing this all over again, because I really believe that by the end of 2022, there's going to be a massive, massive change in my life, and I can't wait to really document it. That's really it. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Let's see what happens in 2022.